So you're a dog owner in St. Charles, Missouri? You already know what a great place this is to have a dog. Well, this guide is designed to help you find the perfect professional trainer to make your life here with your four-legged buddy even better.
But let's be real, with so many trainers and different programs out there, it can feel a little overwhelming. How do you find the one that's the perfect fit for your dog, your family, and your specific life right here in St. Charles?
Because let's face it, good training isn't just about sit and stay in your living room. It's about being able to confidently handle the real world, whether that's navigating the busy sidewalks on historic Main Street or just enjoying a peaceful walk along the Katy Trail.
So what really makes training here different? Well, living in such a vibrant, busy river town means your dog is going to encounter all sorts of unique situations, and a good training plan prepares them for exactly that.
This is what we're really talking about when we say training goals. We're aiming for a dog who can walk calmly down the Katy Trail, not a frantic mess. A dog who can stay focused even when there's a festival downtown. Who can greet new people politely in Frontier Park without jumping all over them, and just chill out with you on a pet-friendly patio. These are the skills that really matter.
So, how do we get there? The most recommended, humane, and effective method by far is positive reinforcement. It's not about punishing bad behavior. It's about rewarding the behavior you want to see, using things like treats, praise, or a favorite toy. This approach builds a ton of trust and makes learning fun for your dog, which means the results actually stick.
Okay, so with that philosophy in mind, let's look at the different ways training can actually be delivered. The right format for you is really going to depend on your dog's specific needs, your schedule, and what you're hoping to achieve.
These are the two big ones you'll see everywhere. Group classes, they're fantastic for practicing focus around other dogs and people, which is a must-have skill in a place like St. Charles. Then you have private in-home training. This is perfect for zeroing in on issues that happen right in your house, like going crazy when the doorbell rings or jumping on guests.
Now, if you need a bit more support or you're short on time, there are more intensive options. With day training, the trainer does a lot of the heavy lifting during the day, and then they show you how to keep the progress going. And board and train programs where your dog lives with the trainer are these really immersive experiences, usually for tackling bigger behavior challenges or learning some very advanced skills.
So, you know the philosophy and the formats, but now let's talk about the who. How do you pick the right person? It really comes down to three things: their credentials, the cost, and just how confident you feel about their whole approach. Let's just get right to the question that's on everyone's mind first: the budget. Knowing what's typical for our area helps you set some realistic expectations right from the get-go.
Here's a quick look at the average costs for 2025, and yeah, you can see there's a pretty big range. A group class for a few weeks might be a couple $100s, while an intensive board and train is a much bigger investment. That difference usually comes down to the trainer's experience and, of course, how much direct one-on-one time your dog is getting. But of course, cost is only one piece of the puzzle. A trainer's professional credentials? That's your peek behind the curtain. It tells you about their education, their expertise, and their commitment to staying up to date. Have you ever seen that alphabet soup of letters after a trainer's name? They actually mean something. Certifications like KPA-CTP or CPD-KA tell you they have a solid foundation in modern, science-backed methods. And if you're dealing with more serious stuff like anxiety or aggression, look for credentials like IAABCDBC or CBCKA. Those signal a much deeper level of expertise and behavior. Part of having a well-trained dog is being a good neighbor and a good citizen. And that means knowing the local rules and taking advantage of all the great resources we have right here in our community. Here is a number every St. Charles dog owner needs to know: 6, as in 6 feet. In every public space in the city, from Main Street to the local parks, your dog's leash can't be any longer than that. It's a simple rule, but it's all about safety for everyone. And on top of the leash law, there are a few other things to keep on your radar. Any dog over 6 months old needs a city license. A current rabies vaccination isn't just a good idea, it's required by state law. And, believe it or not, things like excessive barking can actually lead to a city citation. Good training helps with all of this.
Okay, now for the fun part. We've got amazing local spots to put all this training to the test. The dog parks at Whipplehorst and JC are awesome, safe, fenced-in spots to work on that all-important recall. The Katy Trail gives you miles and miles of space to perfect loose leash walking, and Blanchette Park is perfect for practicing good manners around all sorts of real-world distractions.
Whew, okay.
We have covered a ton of ground, so now let's just boil it all down into one final, super practical checklist. These are the absolute must-ask questions for any trainer you're considering hiring.
Think of this as your cheat sheet for that first phone call or meeting. You want to ask them straight up about their methods. Ask about their credentials and what they do for continuing education. A big one is asking how they'll tailor the plan specifically for your dog. Find out how you'll track progress, get a crystal clear breakdown of all the costs, and finally, ask about logistics, like what kind of homework you'll have between sessions.
You know, choosing the right trainer is such an important first step, because a well-trained dog isn't just about obedience. It's about communication, confidence, and just a deeper bond between you two. It makes every walk in Frontier Park more relaxing, every trip to a downtown patio more fun, and every single quiet evening at home that much better. We wish you and your dog the absolute best on your training journey together.